Welcome back. So in the previous videos we have finished our navigation. It's all like we have finished it up, and now it's time for us to move to the next piece of the puzzle. So it would be our the second part of our header, which include the image at the background, and we have this box right here. With that being said, let's go ahead and do that. And by the way, you can see this box right here. It is it's a part of the image, so that's gonna make I will tell you something once we write this box in our markup or in our HTML. For the time being, let's go ahead and focus on the image, because this image right here, we have two main ways, different ways in order for us to place an image in a website like that, like this I mean. We can either add it as an HTML element, or we can place it as a background with the image. Well, if you are asking which one is better, well, both of them are the same, but I think what is most common is to add it as an HTML tag. Why is that? Because once you add it as an HTML tag, like an image tag, you have the ability to make it a responsive image. Okay, and also you can add lazy loading stuff on it and so on. But with CSS, you still can optimize it for responsiveness and change the image depend on the size of the screen. But it's still we have still some limitations when it comes to optimization with CSS. So adding it as an let's say as a HTML tag, an image tag, it would be much better for optimization. This is just you need to know. However, for the time being, we are gonna add it as a CSS, because again, now we are building layouts. Once we come to optimization, then we have another talk that we want to focus on images. But again, for the time being, we are gonna add it as a CSS. But I have just discussed with you all the possibilities that you could take when it comes to place an image in your web page. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to my HTML. Here is my header. Okay, so we could of course inject some comments. So you can click on command and, or sorry, if you are using Windows, you can click on control and the forward slash, or if you are using Mac, you can use command and forward slash to place and comment. And here I'm just gonna say header starts here. All right, this is just a comment for myself, and I'm just gonna copy it, going back to all the way here. I'm gonna paste it. I'm gonna say header ends here. Okay, and I'm gonna do for that the same thing for every stuff that I will place for every section or every important component in my markup. So I can say navigation like so. Navigation starts here, and I can do the same thing right here. So let me see, where is my nav ends right here. Okay, so I can say navigation ends here. Okay, so should be ends like so. So as you can see, this is just a basic what I just like to document my HTML markup to see where I am exactly. So here we can see that after the navigation, I have told you that the header contains the navigation, which is the white area, and this box right here, which include the image and this text and the button and so on. It is time for us to place our image and so on. So I'm gonna create a div. I'm gonna call it header __ hero. All right, the hero, which is the hero area that you will see here, like the image and so on. This is the large area on the screen. Okay, I'm just gonna call it like that, give it an enter, and that should place it like so. What I will do, I will go ahead, because we don't have too much to add. We don't have of course, this header hero contain only this box, which has the title, the description, and the button. But again, we want to place an image here as a background. So what I will do, I will copy this class. Okay, and here I'm going to create another component in my SAS components folder. I'm gonna right click, new file, underscore header hero. We can call it header hero if we wish. So header hero dot scss, like that. Okay, and what I will do before I do anything, I'm gonna go ahead to my main Sass file. I'm gonna import it here. Like after my navigation, I'm just gonna say import and give it the path header hero and so on. Going back, we are ready to write some Sass code. So I'm gonna target my class. I'm gonna give it the background image property. So background image should be URL. And here, once we pass the URL, you need to be aware of something very important. Here, once you give it the URL, the path to your image, you need to assume that you are in the CSS file, this one right here, in the style.css file. Why is that? Because we are trying to place a background image for this tag, right? Okay. This tag exists in this HTML file, and this HTML file reads the style from this path right here, from this CSS file, which would be style.css file. So that's why if we want to place an image in our style, we need to assume that we are in this file. Then we can give it the relevant path. Make sense? So here I'm just gonna say I need to go one level up, then to the media folder here. So let me close this one. Here I am in the style.css file. I'm gonna go one level up to the media folder. Then I'm gonna go to the header. I'm gonna pick hero.png. Make sense? So media slash header slash hero.png. I'm gonna give it a save, and what I will do also, I'm gonna start my let's say compiler for Sass compiler, because I have just stopped it behind the scenes. I'm gonna save my HTML file, save my Sass file, the main one, just to get the compiler running. And now if we go back to our application, we can see nothing being rendered. This is a very interesting part. Maybe you are asking yourself, hey, what's wrong? Why we don't see anything? Well, if we open the developer tools, of course, by the way, if you are a Google Chrome fan, then you can open Google Chrome, and what we can do, we can copy like this path. I'm gonna copy the URL here, and I'm gonna render it right here because I want to use the Google Chrome developer tool. I'm gonna right click, choose inspect here to see why my image is not showing. I'm gonna go to my header, to the body here. I'm gonna open the header, and I'm gonna select my header hero. If we take a look here on the right hand, we have this style property which says that the background image is applied correctly. But if you select your header hero tag right here, and if you take a look right here, this box will show right here where my cursor is, you will read that the width is like 1440, yeah. So, and the height is 0, so we don't have a height, so our image is not showing right here. So we want to add a height in order for us to solve this issue. Going back to my header right here, the header hero, I'm gonna say I want the height to be I'm gonna give it 100 VH, and we will change it in a second, but for the time being, let's just use 100 viewport height, which is the entire visible area. If we go back, we can see exactly our image right here. So even if Google Chrome, we can see our image, but we have several issues. Number one is that the image is being repeated. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna let me solve it step by step. So we can see the image is repeated, right? So what we want to do, we want to go ahead and say background repeat, no repeat. This is the first thing. Going back, we can see our image is not repeated, but it's not filling the entire area, which is something that we want to do. So I'm gonna say background size to be covered, right? Going back, we can see exactly our image now cover the entire area. One issue that I have right here in our application right here, and we don't have it here, is that of course this is the full result, but here we can see the image. We need to scroll, right? We need to scroll in order for us to see the entire image. This is something that we don't want to do. But why it is happening, we want to understand why this is exist. If we take a look on our header hero, we have give it a height of 100 viewport height, which is the entire visible area. But we have something that is stuck, which is the navigation right here. The navigation, it is preventing our image from taking the entire height, and it's forcing our image to scroll. Okay? So in order for us to fix this problem, we need to give our header hero a height to be 100 viewport height minus the height of the navigation. So I'm gonna go back to my nav. We can give it a height, like for example, let's say 5 rem. Give it a save. Let's take a look. It's too much. Let's say 4.5, or sorry, yeah, 4.5. We take a look. Yeah, it seems very nice for me. Okay, this is a very good height. I'm gonna go with it. What I will do, I will go back to my header hero. I will use something right here. What I will say, I'm gonna remove the 100, this one. I will say calc. Okay, so the calc, it's a CSS method or function that allow us to calculate a specific value dynamically. So I will say calculate the viewport height, the 100 viewport height minus 4.5 rem, which is the height of the navigation. Give it a save. Going back, we can see we have this very small scrolling. Why is that? Well, if you go back to our navigation, we can see we have this padding of 0.6 from the top and the bottom. Okay, this is what make that scroll. And to prove that for you, I'm gonna disable it. Give it a save here and here. Go back, we can see we have removed the entire scrolling. Everything seems to fit perfectly here and here, but we can see we need some extra height for our nav. So very quick change to our behavior. I'm just gonna say it should be like 0.7, 4.7 here, and here also 4.7. Give it a save. This is our navigation or the new version. And by the way, any value if you want to change any value here, for example, if you make it 5 rem right here, you need to make it 5 rem right here. Otherwise, it's gonna change. It's not gonna look perfect. Okay. So for example, 5 rem here. So this is how we can build the second part of sorry for that, how to build the second part of our header. But what we can see an issue right here. The issue is that we have lost our shadow for our nav. And well, that obviously because now the image is covering the shadow. Well, we can give our nav a priority when it's come to ordering using the z-index property. So I will say z-index, and here I can give it a very high value, and that will place our image on top of the, let's say, the background. Okay, and by the way, if you give it a z-index and it doesn't work out, then you need to give it a position to be relative. This is something that has to do with CSS. Okay, I have no idea why this is happening, but again, this is how it works. So if you give it the z-index property and it didn't work out, then you need to just add the position to be relative. Okay, by the way, I have no reason why this is happening, but I just know the solution. And we can see this is how our navigation, it's look nice for me. And by the way, feel free like to modify stuff if you don't like that. But again, I will just stick with it because this is how our design looks like. Okay, and what else we can do? We can, I think we are ready to move to this part right here, to adding or to place this box right here. And by the way, maybe while I'm coding, I'm gonna make some mistakes, but again, I'm gonna do like a revision to the code behind the scenes, and if I made some mistakes, then I'm gonna let you know, just to be more transparent. So with that being said, I think that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one. So thank you, my friends, so much for watching, and see you in the next one.